Malia and Sasha, for once again standing here with me.
The truth behind the Obama family's perfect image has been a mystery, but recent revelations suggest hidden secrets. Michelle Obama's daughter reportedly leaked details, raising questions about the family's dynamics and Barack's faithfulness. Stay tuned for the uncovered truths. Malia Ann Obama, born on July 4, 1998, was born as the first child of Barack and Michelle Obama, and thus her childhood was quite different from that of any other child. It has been far from an ordinary existence, as she was born and raised in the White House and thus had the world's eye on her at a very young age. Being the daughter of one of the most famous families in America, Malia's childhood was a somewhat complex process of trying to protect her from the outside world while giving her a normal childhood. But the Obamas didn't want to be seen as the black or African-American family in the White House. They wanted to give Malia and her younger sister, Sasha, a normal childhood. The family's desire to keep things as close to normal as possible was reflected by their choice of both girls' schools, where they attend Sidwell Friends School, a private school that has a reputation for academic excellence and all-around development. Malia's daily life was ordinary and extraordinary. She studied with other children and attended school activities. Simultaneously, she accompanied her parents to work and official events worldwide. In her early years, Malia was not exposed to the public eye, and her image was well protected. During these events, she was always by her parents' side, looking like a young teenage girl, but with a look that suggests she has seen more than the average teenager. Her poised behavior and demeanor, evident in her public life, resulted from the ethics her parents had imparted to her. The Obama family went to great lengths to shield her from the worst excesses of the paparazzi and other forms of intrusive press attention. This meant that Malia could have some normal teenage experiences off the camera lens. People became interested in Malia Obama as she grew up as a young lady. She completed her high school education at Sidwell Friends School and graduated in 2016. She took a gap year, which was a good decision, since it offered her time to step out of the public eye and get some real-life experience. She had a wonderful year of her life where she was exposed to something new, making her more professional. She interned at the Weinstein Company, where she learned how the industry works, and then she worked on the set of HBO's Girls, which made her more drawn to film and media. The following year, in 2017, Malia was ready to start the next phase of her life by joining Harvard University. While the public watched this, it was a shift to the next level of her life, which was more personal. Although her primary and academic interests have not been disclosed much, it is evident that Malia wants to receive a liberal education and develop her skills through different disciplines. A rigorous curriculum at Harvard has allowed her to explore subjects of interest more intensively, especially media and social issues, which seem to engage her more. Malia has always had a very strategic, if not strictly traditional, attitude toward her career. Unlike many, she has not pursued a conventional career and has tried different areas to find out what she wants to do. These internships and work experiences gave her tangible expertise and brought out her evolving interest in storytelling, media, and social justice. However, as she keeps on forging her way, it is evident that Malia is a woman determined to impact the world in her own way and at her own pace. Two paths crossed at a Chicago law firm. Michelle Robinson, a rising star, and Barack Obama, a passionate law student. Now let's uncover how their unexpected connection led to a love that would shape a nation. This book is not just a love story of Barack Obama and Michelle Robinson, but a story of their dreams, struggles, and a love that has touched millions of hearts. It is the story of two extraordinary people who were born in different circumstances, but who met and fell in love, and whose love story would change their lives and the world. They met for the first time in the summer of 1989, and it is said that they respected each other and had the same values. Thus the beginning of a beautiful relationship that would stand the test of time and the pressures of being in the limelight. At the time, Michelle Robinson was a young lawyer at the Chicago-based law firm of Sidley and Austin. Born and raised in the south side of Chicago in a hard-working middle-class family, Michelle was a hard-working, focused, and determined woman who wanted to succeed. She had done well in her studies and had graduated from Princeton University and Harvard Law School, and was now proving herself as a competent lawyer in a profession that was both cutthroat and lacked the presence of women of color. Michelle was one of the few African-American women working at Sidley and Austin, and she knew fully well the odds stacked against her, yet she was willing to work hard and excel in her way. This was when she was asked to mentor a young summer associate named Barack Obama. Barack, studying at the Harvard Law School, had already become a popular and outstanding student. He was an intelligent man who was also good with people and was very passionate about the poor and marginalized in society. Even though Barack had all the relevant experience and letters of reference that accompanied him, he was still a rookie in high-stakes law firms, just as Michelle was once a rookie in the corporate world of law firms. However, their upbringing was different, and so were their experiences. But the fact that they were African Americans who wanted to succeed in white privileged institutions brought them together. Michelle was attracted to Barack by his confidence and intelligence, but she was also protective of herself when they first met. She had worked with many bright males at the firm, and she was always cautious about the implications of a relationship with a coworker, especially one that she was supposed to be training. Michelle was a very moral woman who did not take her professional obligations lightly. She was keen to be a role model to other young women of color who may wish to venture in the same business. It appeared dangerous to get into a romantic relationship with a colleague, even more when he was supposed to be her mentor. Furthermore, Michelle was very much conscious that she was being watched. Being one of the few African American women at the firm, her conduct was always scrutinized. She had invested a lot of effort in building her career and gaining the reputation of a professional who is worthy of trust and respect, and she understood that any mistake made by her could have consequences not only for her job, but also for her reputation among her colleagues. And she understood that any mistake made by her could have consequences not only for her job, but also for her reputation among her colleagues. These factors kept her from pursuing the budding relationship she felt she had with Barack. But as summer went on, Michelle and Barack saw each other more often, and their relationship became closer. Soon they realized that they were attracted to each other not only as co-workers, but also in other aspects of life. Initially, it was a kind of apprenticeship, then the two became friends, and then there was something deeper. Barack was very determined to win Michelle's heart, and then she finally succumbed to his charm, wit, and integrity. The other factor that made Michelle change her mind was Barack's persistence. The longer she got to know Barack, she found out that he was not just another young lawyer aspiring to get to the top of corporate America. He was a man of integrity, with a clear vision and a passion to transform society and the world. He was very much a man of principle, and she was discovering that his values were similar to hers, and she was getting to like what he was painting as their future. This was one of the moments in their early interactions when Barack carefully planned their first date. He invited Michelle to the Arts Institute of Chicago, and they walked around the place for hours talking about their plans. The screening of Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing succeeded, which both of them found very moving. They went for a date and ended up at Baskin & Robbins, where they took the first kiss. The actual first kiss, which happened outside the ice cream shop in Hyde Park, was followed by a plaque for the fact that it was the start of their love story. For Michelle, this date was not just a romantic dinner. It was the opportunity to look into Barack's heart. She perceived him as a man of intellect and reason, but also as a man of passion and empathy, and a man who was all in for the fight for the underprivileged. Barack was not like any other man she had ever come across, and she found herself being drawn to him more and more because of his friendly nature, politeness, and dreams of a better future. At first, Michelle had doubts about the nature of her relationship with Barack. The difficulties of being involved with someone at the workplace was not something that either of them had to be told. However, they had a good relationship because they respected each other's principles and goals in life. They both knew the need to balance family and work and agreed to encourage each other in their working endeavors. Michelle, on the other hand, remained a bright student at Sidley and Austin. At the same time, Barack finished his law and went back to Chicago to work as a community organizer, and later joined the University of Chicago Law School as a lecturer. By 1992, the two had evolved to a point where they had a strong bond based on trust, love, and beliefs. Barack knew that Michelle was not only his wife, but also his equal, a woman who was strong, intelligent, and compassionate. He was sure that he wanted to spend the rest of his life with her. So he popped the question one evening in a restaurant in Chicago. The proposal was typical of Barack, well-measured, genuine, and unassuming, though highly symbolic. Michelle accepted, and with that, they began the next phase of their lives. What's the secret behind a love that can inspire millions? For Barack and Michelle Obama, it was never just about romance. It was about a partnership rooted in purpose, a love story defined by shared ideals, and a commitment to change the world hand in hand. Let's explore how their shared journey became a beacon of hope for so many. Apart from a love story, Barack and Michelle had shared heads, hearts, and dreams. They immediately liked each other because they were intelligent, witty, and shared a set of values that they could not compromise. They also discovered that they're not only lovers, but also companions in life and in life's purpose as well. This made them united through their common faith and commitment to public service. Barack and Michelle both had the dream to change the world. Michelle was raised with a good sense of social responsibility and enjoyed helping people. This led her to look for opportunities to employ her skills to help those in need, especially in social and economic aspects that affected families like hers. Barack was inspired by the spirit of people and the need to speak for the voiceless. He also worked as a community organizer in Chicago and began to understand the sufferings of commoners and the necessity to fight for them. This social justice and public service orientation provided the foundation of their partnership. They spent many hours dreaming of their future, their vision of the society they wanted, and how they could help achieve it. These conversations shaped their lives together, not only in the theoretical sense. In their relationship, Barack and Michelle had to learn how to balance family and career. Barack was a community organizer, a professor, and state senator, which was a time-consuming and involved a lot of traveling. Michelle was a lawyer and the executive of the University of Chicago Medical Center. However, they continued to be faithful to each other and to their goals and aspirations in life. In 1992, Barack proposed to Michelle to get married, and after 3 years of dating, they got engaged at Gordon Restaurant in Chicago. It was so plain, genuine, and beautiful, just like their love for each other. Barack intended to propose at dinner, but instead he teased Michelle for not believing in marriage, and thus, the conversation of their marriage started. Barack proposed to Michelle to marry him with a ring at the time the debate was on. She was surprised and felt that he was only joking, but when she realized that he was being serious then, she agreed. This was the pinnacle of their love, respect, and determination to change the world. They got married in Trinity United Church of Christ in Chicago on October 3rd, 1992. To affirm their love and values, before their family and friends, people swore to love and cherish each other for a lifetime of purpose and service to the community. Michelle's brother, Craig Robinson, was the man who escorted her to the altar, while the man who would later become influential in their lives was Reverend Jeremiah Wright, who wed the couple. Barack and Michelle began combining work and care for their children when they got married. They would have many struggles, such as Barack's political life and child rearing, with the cameras in their face. However, love and ideals were the factors that held them together and made them remain realistic. Juggling public life and private moments, the Obamas navigated the complex world of parenting in the spotlight. See how they did it with grace and intention. When Barack and Michelle Obama started dating, one of the major issues they had to deal with was how to combine work and family responsibilities, given that they had a young child. This was a very delicate balancing act that demanded both compromise and planning, as they had to face the demands of public life while at the same time trying to keep the family together and strong. Family has always been the foundation of the Obamas' lives, even though both of them were rising to the top of their careers. Right from the start, both Barack and Michelle were very career-oriented. Michelle was already carving her niche as a lawyer after having a good academic background and a legal career. However, as she advanced in her career, she felt that her job in corporate law was not what she wanted to do to serve the public. This reflection made her change her career path. She first worked for Chicago City Hall before joining the University of Chicago, where she took up a position that involved the use of law while at the same time offering her service to the community. Later on, she was appointed to the Vice President for Community and External Affairs at the University of Chicago Medical Center, which enabled her to contribute positively to her society. While Barack was gradually establishing himself as a politician, later he worked as a community organizer, then went to law where he taught constitutional law at the University of Chicago and engaged in civil rights. With his love for public service and his need to bring change, he decided to stand for elections and became a state senator as well as a U.S. senator. Barack was a political person, and this made him spend most of his time out of home, moving from one town to the other within Illinois and later across the United States as his political career progressed. The nature of his job meant that more often than not, Michelle had to take charge of the household and to look after their 2 young daughters. The Obamas were blessed with their first child, Malia Ann, in the year 1998. The coming of Malia brought a new change in their lives because they were now parents, and they had to juggle between work and family. 3 years later, in 2001, they were blessed with their second daughter, Natasha, whom they called Sasha. The problem of work-family conflict was particularly acute when the couple welcomed their daughter, Sasha. Motherhood was a very fulfilling role for Michelle, but it also came with new responsibilities. She was committed to giving her daughters a happy and healthy childhood despite her job and Barack's political work. Michelle was often pulled in many directions at once: mother, wife, worker, professional, and, more recently, figurehead. She also realized the burdens and expectations that accompanied being the wife of a young politician, and did everything in her power to shield her family from the media and maintain a fairly ordinary childhood for her daughters. The Obamas ensured that they set a good example of a working couple with a clear focus on ensuring that they spend quality time with their children. Family dinners were important, and Michelle especially tried to find time for them and dedicate time to them, even if it was at the cost of her work schedule. She made rituals and traditions that gave stability to Malia and Sasha's lives, such as reading stories before going to bed, doing homework, and other daily tasks. Barack, too, was very devoted to his role as a father. Despite the fact that his job demanded his presence in different locations, he tried to be engaged in his daughter's life. He would call home regularly and wherever possible. He tried to be present during key events, such as school functions or during weekends to spend time with his family. For Barack, fatherhood was a great joy, and he appreciated whatever time he could spend with Malia and Sasha, although it was little. Another challenge that the family had to deal with as they became more and more visible to the public, especially after Barack's victory in the US Senate in 2004, was the issue of bringing up children in the face of the public. Michelle was especially cautious when it came to the exposure of her daughters Malia and Sasha to the media, and to guarantee that they could have a normal childhood despite the parents' growing popularity. She didn't want them to lose their bearings, so she ensured that they were reminded of the need to remain humble, work hard, and remain loyal to their principles. Now let's talk about the rumors surrounding Malia Obama. Now, Malia Obama's rumors began when her father, Barack Obama, became president in 2009. Malia's life was in the news, since she was the first daughter of the first African-American U.S. president. The rumors about her teen activities and engagements were, at first, innocent and concerned celebrities. The kind and degree of speculation changed as she grew older and made her career choices on her own. The rumors first started with matters that are associated with adolescence. For instance, performance in school and other activities. When Malia became older, gossip was more personal and intrusive. And this is because people followed her life because of her family's celebrity status. During her teenage years, when she was in the White House, and during her early 20s, when she had a career to build, there were many rumors regarding her personal and career choices. The two most popular rumors about Malia are about her personal life. We attempt to predict how she interacts with friends and relatives, if she has a boyfriend, and how she spends her leisure time. As is the case with most other celebrities, her love life has also not been spared by the media. Photographs taken by the paparazzi and appearances on the cover of popular magazines gave birth to dating rumors at the start of her exposure to the public. These rumors were more of guesswork and sensationalism with very little substance. When Malia went to college, people had all sorts of things to say about her sexual escapades. Some media houses went as far as linking her with other people with little to no proof. This speculation often intruded on her privacy, and it was mostly focused on her relations with other people and her choices. Malia's career choices have also elicited the interest of many people. The first question asked was the year she took off before joining Harvard University. Some people were of the opinion that she was taking a year off to find herself, while others opined that her family had a political stand. Her internships at the Weinstein Company and the Girls of HBO were followed by questions about her work further. There have been rumors circulating around Malia's career. As she continues to look for media and entertainment jobs, her internships and professional experiences have elicited a lot of questions as to whether she is involved in big projects and a movie industry. There are many rumors regarding Malia's boyfriends. She has lovers and friends. Her social media relationships are a topic of discussion in the media, with the journalists drawing conclusions from meager information. She also has been engaged in tabloid and online romance rumors. Such rumors are normally what society has to say about certain personalities, and sometimes are more scandalous. Her relationships are sometimes the focus, and her posts are more likely to be parts about her life that are not work or self-development. The Malia Obama story has been created by the tabloid media. Such outlets are usually inclined to discuss celebrities' personal lives in what can be termed as sensationalism. Malia has been portrayed in most of the tabloids in a sensational manner. Stories about her love life, social life, and even the ordinary events that she goes through have been considered newsworthy. The tabloid style is often associated with the lack of reliable sources and the emphasis on creating an engaging narrative rather than the accuracy of the information. This is deceptive concerning Malia, and this results in the formation of rumors and suspicion. Newspapers, magazines, and online news channels have also reported Malia Obama rumors, but not as dramatically as tabloids. Her education and working experience are subject of discussion in most of the media outlets. However, even such publications may include rumors, especially if it is related to the occurrence of a celebrity or her life. The outlet and rumor can determine the coverage in the mainstream media, which can range from simple reporting to guessing. Mainstream media aims at telling the truth, but in the process of getting a good story, one may end up telling more facts than the story. One of the main sources of Malia Obama rumors is social media. 3 platforms include X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, where the users are able to spread the rumors and comment on it through posts and posts. It also means that social media can disseminate false information because there is no control over its dissemination and reposting. Because social media is an interactive platform, the common users can post and share rumors which are not good news for Malia. Social media can post fake news, but can also provide real-time information and discussions. Malia and Sasha Obama were developing in the White House, and they got to know how to be responsible and disciplined, which was good. Despite the fact they spent most of their childhood in one of the most famous houses in the world, the Obama daughters, like any other children, had to do their chores. Malia and Sasha were trained to be responsible for house chores, including making beds. The girls' routines were not just a way of occupying their time. They were taught discipline, self-reliance, and self-effacing manners. Barack and Michelle Obama did not want to pamper their daughters and shower them with everything that the White House can provide. They wanted Malia and Sasha to know that their family is not like other ordinary families, but they still have their values. The Obamas made sure that their girls knew they were privileged. They also had to work in order to be able to fulfill their roles of their family and the society. This attitude was not only restricted to chores only. Malia and Sasha had to get to school and personal development as a priority in order to achieve all the goals that they have. The Obamas valued education, and as such ensured that their daughters were intelligent and had good grades. Barack and Michelle oversaw the girls' education and made sure that they made progress in school. They encouraged Malia and Sasha to study and excel in their studies. The daughters of the 44th President of the United States of America, Malia and Sasha once said they preferred school exams to their father's last State of the Union address. This was in line with their parents' ethic that education was more important than the great potential of being president's daughters. From these events, Malia and Sasha learned that hard effort, responsibility, and integrity could not be changed irrespective of the situation. In the White House, both Malia and Sasha grew a lot under parental censorship. Barack and Michelle made sure that their girls were well-mannered, intelligent women who could also make their mark in the society by concentrating on the aspect of responsibility and instilling principles in them. For the 8 years they spent in the White House, Barack and Michelle Obama continued to be true to themselves and to their daughters, Malia and Sasha, and to the principles they held dear. The 2 most crucial things that they wanted to pass on to the White House staff was that Sasha and Malia should be like any other children. This directive, while unconventional in the structured and bureaucratic context of the White House, was important to the Obamas' idea of raising well-rounded daughters. To the experienced White House staff, who were used to the strict protocol and the rather high level of etiquette of the president's life, such an approach at first seemed rather unexpected, but eventually the staff learned and understood the Obamas' need to raise their daughters to be humble and normal. They understood that Malia and Sasha were not only the president's daughters, but 2 girls who had to go through a very special and rather difficult stage in their lives. The staff was very considerate of the family's desire, and this made Malia and Sasha grow up as any other normal children, despite the fact that they were the daughters of Barack Obama, the President of the United States of America. The Obamas' family time in the White House was characterized by the principles of love, respect, and responsibility. Barack and Michelle were very conscious to teach these values to their daughters and make sure they stay grounded, working, and aware of the world outside of the fence of the White House. This was evident in every aspect of their lives, including how they raised their daughters and the policies that Barack supported as a president. As we wrap up, Malia sets the record straight on the rumors. Don't miss out. Click the video popping up on your screen, like and subscribe for more updates and exclusive content. Thanks for watching.